Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be Sweden versus Poland here on Fighting Spirit. It's going to be MorroW versus MaNa. MaNa says he needs to get back into shape. That's what he told MorroW. Alright, so top right-hand corner is the pink, kind of flesh-colored Terran player, MorroW. I miss your shuttle storm, says MorroW. And in the top left, it is the green teal Protoss player, MaNa. Man, two fan favorites here coming at ya on Fighting Spirit PvT action. It's gonna be a long macro game. Do love those here on the channel. If you like them too, hit that like button. If you're here for MaNa, if you're here for the macro, if you're here for MorroW, if you're here for Terran, if you're here for Protoss. Remember when you stormed away my 200 supply, now you have 500 tanks, says MaNa. Yeah, once you hit a critical mass of tanks, Protoss has a really, really hard time with that. You can only stasis so many, right? Good luck, good game, good luck, have fun. These two players are friends. All right, so what is this color, you guys? Is it peach? Is it like white person flesh colored? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, because I have no idea what to call that. Anyway, probe scouting here. After Bisu. Going the wrong way. Most of the games where I cast Bisu on this map, he scouts the wrong way, but I don't know if that's fair. I'm not entirely sure that's fair to MorroW here. Called him MorroW again. It's Bisu. Dang it. MorroW he's not even a Protoss player. He's a Terran player in StarCraft 2. Goodness, Falcon, you're better than this. Let's get your brain on board. To be fair, I am sleep deprived. I'm been really busy the last few days. I usually try to recuperate a lot of my sleep on Sunday, but for some reason that didn't end up happening. And I've just been trying to keep up ever since. And then it snowed a whole ton the other day, and I had to actually shovel my driveway and blah, blah, blah. First person problems. My driveway is big, and as a result, I had to shovel a lot, and it was big and heavy, wet snow, and I just wanted to die. So, that was my day. How about you? Anyway, what's happening in the early game? Anything at all? Really quick factory? Loving that. Loving the high ground here, too. Which means Dragoon pressure's not going to be all that great, actually. Dragoons are really good at coming out here and dealing with a bunker or a barracks that's on the low ground if the Terran went for a fast expand, but I love what MorroW's doing, basically saying, nah, you can't come up this ramp if I have a couple Marines. That sucks for you as Dragoons. And I'm going to get a tank out fast anyway, so if you're planning on doing aggressive Protoss stuff, I would recommend against it. And honestly, MaNa's going to scout this pretty soon. Has he started Singularity Charge? He has. So at this point, I think it's probably too late to cancel that. You want it anyway. You want it anyway. You're not going to skip Singularity Charge in any game you ever play. It's great against Protoss. It's great against Zerg. It's great against Terran. Dragoons are the core unit of Protoss. Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say Dragoons are the core important unit for Protoss? And no matter what matchup you're in, they're going to be good and they're going to be useful. I mean, sure, there are certain ZVP strategies where Dragoons are bad. Like, for example, a mass Zergling style thing with Defiler support especially. Dragoons are horrible. But once the Lurkers come out, not too bad. Once the Ultras come out, not too bad. If they happen to make Guardians, which don't make Guardians against Protoss. Don't make Guardians anyway, Zergs. Dragoons are not bad there either. So Dragoons just core units. Always make them. They're fantastic. Now, this SCV is actually going to escape with its life, I think. Look at that wall. Oh, are you kidding me? He got that barracks down before the Dragoon could get under it. That was insane. That was insanely good. Holy smokes. All right, well, going to repair this up a little bit. This here supply depot going to go for siege mode, and this tank's going to come out soon. And really, nothing's going to be lost. MorroW's handling this about as well as you can. Robotics facility opening. Ooh, that feels aggressive. Or it's just for detection, because you're worried about spider mines. But definitely not spider mines first here out of MorroW. Not even close. So you don't have to worry about those for some time. Tanks with siege, yes, but that's more a defensive thing. I haven't really seen many Terran versus Protoss games where tanks push across the map and try to kill the Protoss early. So, I mean, at this stage, they're going to be defensive. You don't have to worry about them as much. Just keep making your Dragoons. And if you want to do the strategy that I've seen do really well against Terrans, who are really good at going for mass tank, is make a bunch of Dragoons, expand a whole bunch, keep throwing your Dragoons headlong into the tank lines, just sacrificing your goons for killing as many tanks as you can. I don't want to spoil it too hard, but I did see a game where Light, as Protoss, used that against a Terran Flash on my channel some months ago, and it remains one of the most impressive PvTs I have ever cast in my entire career. It was awesome. He was expanding to like a 4th base by this point in the game. He was throwing up 20 gateways. He was making Dragoons and Zealots en masse, and he was just saying, hey, anytime you unsiege, I'm jumping on your tank line, Flash, and just keeping that tank count as low as he could. It was the most aggressive Zerg-style Protoss I've ever seen, and it was tons of fun. Hey, look, it is an observatory, so he is worried about spider mines, which, in fairness, we'll probably get those at some point. They're just too good to skip if you're MorroW. Ah, we do see the expansion. Okay, so MaNa's recognizing, all right, let's go ahead and expand again. Terran player can't really punish me. He can't. The Dragoon count is too high. If I move out with these tanks with nothing to support them, no spider mines, no marines, no nothing, they will die to these Dragoons. They are entirely defensive units right now. I'm going to turtle up, which is why I like to see MaNa expanding like this. I really, really do. Additional gateways coming in, loving that. Spider mines are now being researched, and +1 vehicle weapons is getting started, which I really, really enjoy. Upgrades are really important for everything, honestly. The one matchup I don't see a lot of upgrades in is, well, I guess 2. ZVZ, just because the games are over so fast, and PvP, surprisingly. We don't see a ton of upgrades in PvP. And I'm not sure if that's a math situation where people have done the math and recognized, okay, upgrades with Dragoon versus Dragoon fights are not actually that important. And when Zealots are hammering away at your Dragoon's armor's not that good anyway, so whatever. The math doesn't add up. I don't know. Maybe somebody is smarter than me in the comments. They can tell me what's going on, but anyway, we're 6.5 minutes into this thing. You can check out the merch store for Falcon Paladin merchandise. It is falconpaladin.store. We have Terran Protoss and Zerg specific shirts at this point, so if you want to check those out, again, falconpaladin.store for your holiday shopping. You can also convert how much it costs, the stuff on the site costs, to your particular currency. It defaults to Australian dollars because Somicron, who runs my store, is an Aussie. You can totally convert it on the fly to whatever your currency happens to be. So if the prices look weird, it's because it's default Australian dollars. You can put it to US dollars or euros or pounds or whatever the heck else money you're looking at. What's funny is most of the currencies I'm familiar with are European, which are out of date now because the euro exists. Because I played a lot of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego when I was a kid, the old DOS version. Anybody ever play that one? Like with the PC speakers, and you had to basically chase Carmen Sandiego around to different places in the world, and there were henchmen. And if you got, like, they'd give you clues, right? You'd show up at a city and a hotel clerk or, like, I want to say a barkeeper, but I don't think they sent you into bars. But like a newspaper seller, right, would be, well, here's a clue. I overheard them say that they were going to a state with a, right, go to a country with a flag that has red, green, and yellow in it. And you'd be like, what? That's such a weird thing to say, but that was the clue. And then if you got there and you flew there, and if you were right, then a little henchman would sneak across your screen, and that was your clue that you were in the right place. Anyway, it was really fun, but that's how I learned a lot about the world, specifically flags and specifically currency. But anyway, StarCraft is happening. This is, wow, it's a really dead Dragoon. Ooh, friendly fire. Took down 3 vultures, too. That was worth it. That was definitely worth. Now, MorroW does not subscribe to the moving out early strategy, obviously, as we're seeing, you really can't. And MaNa does not subscribe to the attacking the Terran player early and often methodology. So he's got his 3rd base up. He's walling off against potential vulture harassment. We've already got Goliaths out, and that really just must be for observers and arbiters. Which, are we doing arbiters? Well, there's your Stargate and your Templar Archives. So yeah, definitely an arbiter is going to come up as soon as that Stargate finishes. Arbiter Tribunal. What's funny is, on the Team Liquid site for build orders, it says it requires a fleet beacon to make arbiters, which is not the case. But there was a game that I cast recently. It was between it was the 2 Ukrainian players, Strelok and my gosh, I can see his face right now. Strelok and Whiteraw. My goodness, that was strange. And there was a fleet beacon, but it wasn't used for anything at all. There were carriers out eventually, but for a while, fleet beacon just kind of sat there. And anyway, I guess maybe he was planning on going for carriers, but he just waited some time before he started. Regardless, the Team Liquid build order is wrong for some reason. Go figure. Is he hiding it up here? There's the Arbiter Tribunal, hiding it way up there in the top left-hand corner. That's where I thought it would be. You sneaky, sneaky Polish player. The Swede over here is making more factories because that's what you do against Protoss. There's really no alternate strategies. You go for mech, whether that's tanks and vultures or whether that's a ton of Goliaths because your opponent tech switched on you and started going for carriers. Either way, nice sensor scan sweep there. Seeing, I mean, all the gateways. He does see the Templar Archives and the Citadel of Adun and the Stargate. So, I mean, he's got to know it's Arbiters, even if he didn't see the Arbiter Tribunal necessarily. There's just no reason not to make Arbiters. Stasis is so good at wiping the tank count in half, right? If you can take down 3 of the 6 tanks in a group, suddenly your Dragoons have a chance. Anyway, MaNa's expanding again, which I'm a huge fan of. I'd love to see him expand again, to be honest with you. He doesn't quite have the resources for that, to be fair. But he doesn't have the resources for this base either that he's been sitting here trying to expand to for the last 30 seconds. There we go. Eagle's hit. EMP's on the way. EMP, a fantastic unit. Well, Spell and Science Vessels are fantastic units, both against Zerg and against Protoss. Just EMPs will remove all of the shields and all of the mana off of anything you hit it with in a splash damage radius. So if there's a few Arbiters clumped up, yeah, EMP those, bam, they're virtually useless. No mana, no shields, they're super weak. All that's left of them is their auto attack, which is 10 damage per attack, which is just not great with a slow attack speed. DPS is hot garbage. Now, my goal here today is to catch all of the recalls that may or may not happen in this matchup. And I'm sure you guys will hold me to task for missing any anyway. But in fairness, look at these colors. Look at these colors, like mixing in with the mini-map. This green is basically the same color as grass. This color, whatever MorroW's rocking with, is basically the same color as this dirt. I'll do my best. I'll keep an eagle eye on the mini-map. And that's what we're going to have to do here. Ooh, probe transfer. Wrong place, wrong time. Okay, well, I mean, what else are you going to do other than keep running and send a couple Dragoons up to try to save the day? It is 61 SCVs to 73 probes. So MaNa's doing the right thing and out-macroing the Terran player pretty effectively today. Are you really fighting here? Why would you do this? MorroW is making some questionable decisions. Lost one of those vultures. The other one extremely injured. Happily sitting at 23 HP, or perhaps sadly sitting at 23 HP. I mean, man, if you're going to take this low ground, might as well take the high ground, my guy. Just saying. Who's going to move out? Boy, this is tank count city. Oops, wrong button. Down to regular speed, not 2 times speed. Regular speed, please. I want to see how many tanks there are. I guess we could do this real quick. Well, those are siege tanks. Those are unsiege tanks. So 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11 tanks. It's pretty scary right now, is what I'm trying to communicate. That's a lot of Dragoons, though. Is that, what's 196 to 159? Okay, so MaNa's maxed out. Big time fan of maxed out Protoss by 13 minutes. That's fantastic. Arbiters here. I guess the Arbiter still does provide cloak, even if its mana is gone. So it's not super ultra useless. Charon booster on the way. Did not go for that early because it's not a carrier opening at the very least, though we could get there eventually. Stasis coming in here too for the Arbiters. Are there any science vessels around? Because again, EMP got researched, but I haven't actually seen any. There's one. Science vessels do exist. I love that they have little test tubes on here in the Carbot skin. The cartooned version of StarCraft. Now, what do we do with his here Spider Mine? Because they don't kill probes, right? You guys know that. They don't kill workers. Otherwise, like, Spider Mines would be insanely good. And, I mean, they're already really good, but they'd be insanely good. If you could Spider Mine drop or mine into a mineral field, just instant death. Instant death to all of the things. Widow Mines exist in StarCraft 2, which are basically Spider Mines, except after they fire, they're not dead. But they don't have quite the destructive capability that Spider Mines do. So I guess maybe that's the trade-off. I don't know, man. Balance is hard. Balance of StarCraft is hard, and I really am just in awe of anybody who manages to do it at any level in the StarCraft scene. So tons of tanks are here. They are happily sitting on +2 attack and +1 armor. The Dragoons at no upgrades whatsoever. +1 attack is coming up for those dudes, but that's it. Oh, just kidding. Ground armor is on the way. What is that? I don't know what that is. What your animation is, Carbot. What is your illustration for armor? The rest of them generally make sense. Anyway, it's the great contain of MaNa. But guess who's moving out? MorroW is moving out. Slowly coming up, sieging forward. Slowly coming up, sieging forward. This is how you play Terran. It's very slow and steady, wins the race. You are a tortoise. Protoss is a hare. like this track for Protoss, by the way. We'll just let it play for a minute. Just kidding. We're going! Here comes the Protoss on everything. Do we get a stasis at all? Not really. Is this out of energy? Yep, it got EMP'd, I would assume. So storm on everything, but it's too much. There is too much Terran, and MaNa is forced to flee. MorroW's at 187 supply. MaNa's at 183. That did not go well for the Protoss at all. He tried to get a stasis down. That's why the Arbiter was up there, but the EMP got there first. Arbiter, again, cloaking, fantastic, but Science Vessel presence means the cloak is negated as well. Just brutal. Brutality. Hey, they're on siege. Let's go, say the Zealots. There are so many Vultures here, though. It doesn't really matter. Another EMP goes down, catching random Dragoons and Zealots, which is a fine target. And Arbiter, enough energy for anything? No! Continual scans here, just to make sure we can see what we're attacking. MorroW is in a really fantastically strong position. Vultures alone are sort of just winning this right now. I don't know where MaNa's army is. It's not here, I can tell you that much. Goliath. No, you got to keep moving. Arbiter, don't go that way. All right, well, super dead. Super mega ultra lightning dead there. And is MorroW just going to win this thing in the first push? We're 16 minutes in, and this feels like MorroW's going to win this thing in the first push style of a game. That said, a bunch of Zealots are in production. The Vulture count is still insanely high. The upgrades are still... +3 attack is done for MorroW. I mean, MaNa's going to lose his natural base. He's kind of trickling units in to deal with this, but that's not how you do. He's got High Templar. I mean, Zealots are trying to do something of a counterattack, but that's not really working out for them all that well either. Yeah, I mean, basically going off that ramp is not what you want to do. Even if you have overwhelming numbers, it's just not worth it. So MorroW's going to come up to the north here, get some high ground. Maybe set up here and try to fire on stuff that way, but intelligently not building stuff too close for that to happen. He really needs to go for another base right now. There is not much protecting this left side base or the bottom left base or the natural of the bottom left base. I think MorroW just is in complete control in this game. MaNa's at 161 supply, which is good. But I don't know where it is. Is it all spread out? I guess this is most of it. MorroW does lose a couple tanks carelessly. But then his army has to retreat because MorroW comes back around and says, hey, you came down your ramp. Let's punish that real fast. So many more tanks continuing to come out right now. I mean, MorroW is at 185 supply. He's just killing this left side base with 2 tanks and a couple Vultures is all he's doing. That's all he really needs, actually. Ooh, that tank died because it sieged up in range of a cannon. Oh, a Dragoon, rather. Alright. Are you really committed to killing this base? I don't know that MorroW needs everything to deal with this. He's making some interesting decisions, let's just say that. So MaNa's retreating with all of his probes down to these bottom left bases, which, you know, that's really not a bad idea. That bottom left base is not saturated. Major incoming attack coming, though, from MaNa, coming right on into this. Stasis, ooh, sneaky stasis. Catches, I want to say 8 or 9 tanks there. That's really good stuff. Is there enough? Is there enough for MaNa to break this even still? The answer is I don't think so. I don't see many Dragoons here at all. There we go. Dragoons and tanks actually taking down this left side base. Forge going to go down. Forge is not working on any upgrades. Because, again, MaNa not super interested in those today. He's got 1-1. I guess +2 attack is coming in right now. Spider-Mine's setting up. MaNa trying desperately to retake the natural. But there's just so much stuff here. Zealots trickling on down into the Spider-Mines. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Again, that's what happens when you have +3 tanks and you have +1 armor Zealots. Is bad stuff. So, left side 9 o'clocker is gone for MaNa. He's lost his natural here, too. MorroW just really, again, slow and steady. Patient and really strong would basically show what MorroW is up to right now. MaNa supply blocks. Not great. Is that his upgrade? Yeah, that's his +2 upgrade he's going to lose. I guess we're kind of trying to march up this ramp right now. MorroW decided, yeah, we'll go for it. We have a science vessel. We have tanks. We can do this thing. MaNa decided, I can't engage with anything. Did he recall all his stuff down here? I bet he did. I don't know how he got out of his main otherwise, because he was retreating real hard. MaNa not supply blocked. Surprisingly not supply blocked. Doing a good job not being supply blocked. But look, expanding to the 6 o'clock, and expanding to the bottom right-hand corner too. I am a huge fan of this strategy. MaNa, you're killing it. I'm super impressed with you right now. Expand everywhere. The Terran mech army is incredibly terrifying, and it's also incredibly slow. Abuse the immobility of these tanks. And expand everywhere. Look how long it took him. It took him about 8 minutes to kill this natural and this third. So now you have replaced those, and you're totally fine. No problem. You just gotta... Look, the tanks are unsieged. Is it go time? It's totally go time. Once again, trying to get in here, and does get a great storm on most of those tanks. Fantastic stasis, too. More storms coming in. MaNa actually somehow handles this army because MorroW clumped up his tanks and got stormed into oblivion. The High Templar, I'm not sure if they have many kills, but they are hugely important to the success of that battle right there. They should get MVP badges if those are a thing. I don't think they are. I'm making stuff up. I'm so excited about how well that went. And suddenly MaNa's up 161 to 149. And this is what we're expecting from MaNa. This is why MaNa is one of the more popular Protoss players in all of StarCraft, in StarCraft 1 and in StarCraft 2. He is a beloved character, and it's his skill, among other reasons why he is beloved. MorroW coming out with reinforcing units. High Templar ready to storm some stuff, and he does catch a few vultures there before going down. But look, MaNa winning this battle too. He's up about 20 supply, 145 to 127. He's managed to keep his bases down south because MorroW's worried about what's going on up north. And so far, so good. I mean, MorroW did secure the 12 o'clock a while ago. That's helping him immensely here. He's on 4 bases too, which is abjectly terrifying. Somehow, this Dragoon has 3 kills, but I think those days are over if these vultures find out where he is. Vulture trying to take down an Nexus. Not really going to work out for you guys, I'm afraid. Additional Goliaths in production. Bit of engagement here with the Goliaths doing pretty well against these Dragoons. Again, upgrades, man. Upgrades matter. 3-3 on this mech versus a really underpowered 1-1er out of MaNa. MaNa is doing exceptionally well, but the longer the game goes on with that 3-3 versus 1-1 disadvantage, the more I feel like MorroW has a better chance of winning this thing. These vultures are going to do it. Wow. I mean, it took them a while, but great success. Tacking on in again up north. Zealots jumping right on top of the tanks. There are no vultures here. Reinforcing vultures are coming on in. But enough tanks are present to actually just shove this away as it stands. No stasis there for some reason. Did you get EMP'd? Yeah, I think they got EMP'd. Pretty low on MaNa there, you guys. On magic, whatever the heck it is. I think it's just MaNa. MorroW's expanding in the bottom right, and despite the fact that MaNa has won a couple good engagements here, he's not replaced his third, he has not replaced his natural, and he's on 5 bases to a 4-basing Terran who has a giant scary mech army with better upgrades. So at this point, I'm feeling like MorroW is in control of this game. Obviously not in overall supply, but just in the sense that if he is sieged up, he can handle anything that MaNa throws at him. So his goal right now needs to be just wipe out bases. Kill this base, kill that production. Kill this base, kill its production. I guess reverse those order because it's going to be easier to kill this one and then come up the ramp. But, there, I mean, if you're sieged up, effectively, there's nothing MaNa can do to stop you. I mean, I would even maybe consider coming up here and just wiping out the main. Because there's nothing defending it. There's a Dragoon up here. Killing all of these gateways would greatly impact MaNa's ability to remake an army. I mean, it's 187 supply right now, and maybe that would start a base race, which is maybe not something you want to do. It's just that tanks are pretty good at base racing just because they destroy buildings so quickly. Hard to say. SCVs are coming through. It looks like MorroW trying to transfer to the bottom right. Surprisingly doing pretty well. Another engagement happening in the middle of the map. MorroW ends up winning that one as well, just again through sheer tank numbers and the fact that the Goliaths are pretty good at shooing those Arbiters away. However, if you stick around too long, you will overstay your welcome. Ooh, caught a stasis on the science vessel. Alright, however, a couple Arbiters taking serious shots. They do go down, no more cloak available. Another science vessel was here the whole time. Are there enough tanks? I don't think there are. And MaNa making it happen. Guess who's got a million vultures in reinforcement, though? Are you seriously going to do this thing with just mass Vulture against these Dragoons? Spider Mines are going to help. You know, they take out a couple Dragoons, and yes, the friendly fire totally sucks if you're a Vulture pilot. But if you have to sacrifice yourself to kill Dragoons, that's what you gotta do. That's a good trade. As Vultures are just the mineral dump for a meching Terran. It's not like they're hugely important. I guess if you don't have them, then Zealots will ruin your day. So in that sense, they're really important. But yeah, I mean, at this point, MorroW can afford to trade them for these Dragoons, because Dragoons are gas. And gas is a more scarce resource in the world of StarCraft. Hey, pro tips from Falcon Paladin on that one. Tanks do siege up, start firing on these Dragoons. Zealots on top of the tanks, though. Arbiter comes up nice. Stasis again. Really good stasis today from MaNa. And it's 147 to 141 supply. Both players have been taking serious hits to their economy, to their armies. Well, I guess economy not as much, but to their armies. It's been really hard to come back from it for both players. Something was attacking. I don't know what it was. MorroW's very sneaky bottom right-hand base is dead. SCV is trying to run surprisingly good against Dragoons, but with that many Dragoons. And I guess with +1 attack, they're a little bit better against those running workers. Hey, he's starting +2. Is he? He is starting +2 after losing his Forge 10 minutes ago. Again, if MaNa loses this game, it's going to be a result of upgrades. I'm just saying it. MorroW's upgrades have been greatly better. EMP, nicely done. And the Arbiter dies too. That is a 1-2 combo kick to the groin. If you are MaNa there, EMP into dead Arbiter is just ouch. It's ouch time. If you're Jar Jar Binks, I guess. Wow, where did that come from? I haven't watched Jar Jar Binks movie in a long time. EMPs on everything but the Arbiter, surprisingly, but not a lot of energy there. Gonna come up anyway, provide the cloak, expose, provide a bit of a distraction for the Goliaths. Ooh, an Observer gets taken down. That is not great. MaNa a little bit in the dark there. Bit of an engagement on the right side with Dragoons. Not working out super well. MorroW wants to wipe out this bottom left-hand corner, and MaNa is vehemently opposed to it. Storming all the things, stasising all of the tanks. Are there enough tanks for mating? It is basically a question of math. If you have enough stuff for mating to wipe out what's left in MaNa's army, and by golly, he certainly does. He brought a lot of units here. Bunch of Dragoons going down to Vultures, Spider Mines, and tanks. SCV is hanging out in the middle of the map for no good reason. 160 to 134 supply. MorroW is up. This has been quite a seesaw of a game. Seesaw in battle, I gotta say. Is that more stasis? Is that new stasis getting tossed down? Also, that Arbiter really should run, but he's not. And this is kind of snowballing. This is kind of snowballing in MorroW's favor. He's taking out this bottom right base, which is mined out, in all fairness. Well, I guess there's 2,000 gas, but all the minerals are gone, so that counts as mined out, yes? Do you mine Vespene gas? I guess that doesn't make any sense, does it? You gather it. Extract it from an extractor. You assimilate it from an assimilator. And you refine it from a refinery. Reinforcements coming out here for MaNa are taking EMPs and tank shots directly to the face. They are going to win, but they're all severely injured for the battles that are to come. And yeah, this is MorroW just slowly sieging forwards. Here we go with the Zealots. Zealots running through their own storm a little bit. Not super great. Some of these tanks are not sieged, which means they're better against Zealots. And easier, like, there's no minimum attack range, so Zealots can't get into that minimum attack range and cause major problems. But yeah, MaNa, this is the 4th base that he's lost today. Natural 3rd base, 4th base, and 5th base have all gone down. He's got 1 mining base right now, which is not enough to keep up to MorroW with his 1 mining base. You know what? And I guess he's taking the bottom right hand too. MorroW's economy is not as good. I'm realizing right now. He doesn't have much of a bank, but he is up 160 to 85 total supply. All of these gateways going down is a major problem for MaNa, but he can't do anything to stop it. Oh, okay, sure. Why don't tanks just wander in to the 6 o'clock base that MaNa took a while ago and wipe it out? I think that's it. I think MaNa's done. He's losing 3 bases in fairly short shrift. This is his income, by the way. This is all the income he has. He's long distance, just kidding. He's not even long distance mining from his natural right now. I mean, that would be a desperation move, but it'd be the only move that he can make. These probes are coming down. Oh my gosh, you guys. They are running directly into Vulture Land. Are they running directly into Vulture Land? No, because the Vultures don't know they're there. But the Nexus is gone. The gateways are gone. Hey, this Vulture's having a grand old time with his 26 damage per shot. Really good against Worker's attack. Oh, ow, oof, ow, ah. That's the sound that probes make when they die. I mean, pretty good impressionist there, aren't I? So that's 171 to 79 supply. It is like 100 supply advantage for MorroW right now. And MaNa did a great job winning a couple of those battles, but he just lost too many bases. Right? He just lost too many nexuses across the entire map here. MorroW's expanding again after taking the bottom right here for his income. His 12 o'clock is still fairly healthy. I don't know why MaNa's still in this game, to be honest with you. I'm looking at it. He's got the +2 attack and the +1 armor, but again, the upgrades are so much better. They've been 3-3 for the meching player for 10 minutes now. Probably even 15 at this stage of the game. 4 more tanks on the way, more Goliaths on the way. MorroW just playing it safe, not quite sure where the army is. MaNa does not have the minerals to rebuild a Nexus, so he is long distance mining from his natural now. With all of the 8 probes that he has, it's 8 probes to 55 SCVs. EMP does not catch that Arbiter. Hey, that's a minor victory. All right, once again, got full energy on these Arbiters. Coming on in, storming all over the place. Stasising only 2 of those tanks, though. And there are just too many. You must be kidding me, says MaNa. Smiley face. MorroW throws out the smiley face. Good game, yo, says MaNa. And MorroW is your winner in 32 minutes and 4 seconds. That was a lot of really good PvT. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Again, it just helps me get more visibility in the algorithm that is YouTube. More people watch my stuff, which means that I can do more content, which means that you guys can have more people to argue with in the comments about stuff. Anyway, that was fantastical. That was really fun. What a great PvT. MaNa fighting hard, but MorroW just slow, steady, methodical. This is what we're talking about here, guys. This is how you play Terran. It is Flash style. Make sure you have some science vessels. Make sure you have a lot of tanks. Make sure you have a ton of vultures. Few Goliaths for the Arbiters. And if you see a tech switch into carrier, go mass Goliath and call it a day. Just, man, never lost a base. Never got threatened. I don't think he lost an SCV in this game. You guys are going to kill me, though, in the comments. Dude, there was a recall in the main base at 28 minutes. And I'll be like, what? But no, none of these buildings are on fire. I guess this missile turret's on fire. Why is that? Should we go back and figure out why this missile turret's on fire? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You guys can't stop me. It's fine now. Play. Speed it up. La, la, la. Ah, okay. He killed his own supply depot so he could get out, and the splash damage hit the missile turret. Okay, vindication. No recalls in this game. If there are, I apologize profusely. All right, end of the day, really good. Again, look how close this is. 206,000 points to 203,000 points. MorroW has the lead, but it's not like he destroyed MaNa in this game. MaNa did really well for himself. Produced, about 400 each. Killed about 250 each. Lost 281 Protoss units, which is a lot of units. The raised buildings is a huge one here. MorroW lost a building in this game, and I'm pretty sure that's the tank that the supply depot that the tanks killed. And then resources, even on the gas mined, way more minerals mined. 10,000 more minerals mined for MaNa, and actually 10,000 more total spent for MaNa. But MorroW, just, again, the cost efficiency of mech is how this works. We see this in TVZ. We see this in TVP, situations where they got outspent fairly significantly by their opponent, but tanks are just able to get so many more kills for their cost. And that's what the efficiency is all about. So MorroW using it to its fullest today. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.